Welcome to DPMF Live. Now meet our hosts.
Good evening. It's 8 o'clock. It's Sunday night. It's the 7th of September. This is episode 85, and we welcome back, a warm welcome back to Anodos Finance and Panos. I still say that name wrong. I do believe it's completely different, but bear with me. As ever, this show is brought to you by our lovely panel, Dan the Man, Live Free, Mike, and Wesley. Not sure where Wesley is yet, but I'm sure he'll get her in a minute. We are brought to you by Fuzion-XIO, the baddest and the sickest place to mint, sell, and get your NFTs on the market. The only place on the XRPL that's got a validation feature. It's awesome. You should go and check it out. As ever, all of our shows are on the YouTube channel, which is stonking, thanks to Raylene. I suggest you go and check out our previous episodes, so they're pretty good, if I don't mind saying so myself. I absolutely applaud everything Raylene's doing for us there. These shows are recorded. Everything can be listened to once again in your own pleasure, while you're on the gym, while you're on the bog, while you're in the bath. Whatever you're doing, you can listen to us again, and again. It's awesome stuff that we are throwing out for you. We're trying to keep you updated with the XRPL, but it's a buzzing place. So some of our facts might not be right. Some of them are, but bear with us. All right, okay, look, I'll give you one nugget, right? Go on. Now, I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but check this out, one XRPL transaction consumes the same electricity that is needed to run one LED light bulb for 1 millisecond. Did you know that shit?
You know what? I didn't, but you just got to tell me, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Well, it's a stonking thing, isn't it? It's a
LEDs are good. LEDs are very efficient.
These are green nuggets. I am dropping to you right now. Do you want another green nugget?
I've got another nugget. Go on.
I'm going to drop the
right, go on.
I'm going to drop my other green nugget, right? This is pretty green as well. Right. The whole carbon footprint of one transatlantic flight, a Boeing 747, is the same transactions on the XRPL for a massive amount of time. I can't remember the exact figures, and I've completely balls that nugget up as well, I think. There you go. Anyway, what's your nuggets?
So is it as efficient as a Boeing flight?
Well, yeah, like a year's worth of transactions, I think it read. I can't be exactly sure of it, but it's pretty green.
How green is that, Dan? Did you think that was a green?
Yeah, no, he's correct. It's probably even less than that.
I like that. I don't know where you got those nuggets from, Palace, though, but they were bloody great.
I know that from when we was doing the node testing with the Gen nodes, because we wanted to see if we could do Ethereum ones as well. And the problem was the network's too expensive, and consumes too much energy to run nodes, actually, because we do to make sense with this, we've got them running on solar energy, so we can only go so far. I can't remember exactly how many watts it was an hour to run an XRPL node on solar energy, but it's not a lot. It's like 11 watts an hour or a few hours, it's something like that. I can't remember. I haven't looked at been on it for about a year.
Not to upset Bitcoin people, but how efficient is it to Bitcoin in a sense?
Well, how efficient is the XRP Ledger to Bitcoin?
Yeah, to run a node.
To mine Bitcoin.
To mine.
So I don't know what it is now. I know it's quite a lot. I can't think of an example. I'll have a look while we're on the show. Actually, I can't remember.
Dan, can you fill us in with the markets?
Yeah, I'll run through them because we've got Panos from Anodos coming on. Looking forward to listening to him, what they've been achieving. So I'll fly through it real quick. Ranked at number 1, Bitcoin is at $111,192. It's up about just short of 2% on the 7-day. Ethereum's ranked at number 2, $4,285, which is down nearly 5% on the 7-day. Our XRP, has anyone seen the price today? Anyone want to guess? Ranked at number 3, price is...
It's gone up a little bit, isn't it? 220? Was it
283?
220? Oh, you doing it in pound? You doing it in Great British pound?
I'm talking pence. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, $2.86.
$2.83. Oh, 86.
All right. Yeah, it'd be slightly different on the exchanges. But yes, under the $3 mark. I think it'll go under the $2 mark. Yeah, so over the coming year. Well, we've got Tether ranked at number 4. BNB Binance is ranked at number 5, sitting at $875, which is up 1.15% on the 7-day. Ranked at number 6 is Solana at $202, which is down 1.5% on the 7-day. USDC ranked at number 7. Dogecoin at number 8, which is sitting at 22 cents, which is up on about 1.5% on the 7-day. Ranked at number 9 is Tron at 32 cents, and Cardano is ranked at number 10 at 82 cents.
I got a bit of a red flag nugget. If you want to hear another nugget, did you hear my first nugget? Did you hear?
I only caught the node one.
Right, so I'm giving my nuggets a color code now. So I had 2 greenies. Right now, this one's a bit of a red flag nugget. Yeah. So this is a red flag nugget, right? Now, again, I'm not sure how true this all is, so people have to do their own research, etc. But World Liberty apparently blacklisted, Justin Sun's wallet that he uses, alleging that there are some issues with washing money exchanges. So,
I heard about this.
So yeah, apparently he's got a wallet that's got 2.4 billion in, and he can't use it now because it's been blacklisted from that exchange. Anyway,
wow.
So how about that? I don't know if it's true or all of that malarkey, but people have to go and do their own research. It sounds a bit shady, doesn't it?
2 billion.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what tokens they were, but doesn't sound great, does it?
Oh, but I mean, how do you lock up a wallet? I mean, it's just,
no, the exchanges blacklist it, so you can't transact onto the exchange to withdraw it. But there's hundreds of exchanges out there.
I was going to say, it's like, I mean, you're not going to use just one exchange. I mean, you can always use several, quite a few, and just transfer one to another.
But I wonder if all these exchanges, they may well be talking to each other. So they may well be saying to other exchanges, watch out for this wallet or whatever. I'm sure that goes on.
Kind of like the Las Vegas casinos that talk to each other when you get the smart guy playing and beating them at the table.
Absolutely.
You know what? Whilst you've done your nuggets, I might as well just lead into my little nuggets. I'm not going to
do your nuggets, mate.
I'm literally just I'm not going to speak too long on each one. I'm going to just reel them off.
And Mike, don't downplay your nuggets, mate. They're big nuggets.
Are they green?
Don't be ashamed of your little nuggets, Mike. Do not be ashamed of your little nuggets.
Go on then, Mike.
That's what God gave you, okay?
All right, look. So I'm going to do a little XRP weekly recap. So on Monday, the Bank of International Settlements endorses XRP for global settlements. Tuesday, Ripple expanded partnership with Thunes, which so Ripple Tech connects to 7 billion banks and mobile wallets worldwide. Ripple's expanded integration with Thunes means faster global payouts in 130 plus countries showcasing real-world utility at scale. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, the credentials amendment goes live on the XRPL. So the amendment enables KYC, know your customer, and AML, which is anti-money laundering credentials, to be stored and verified on chain, opening doors for banks and institutions to join the XRPL ecosystem with ease. That was Wednesday. Thursday, Ripple prepares to take on Swift, which is no small feat. So there was actually something I watched today, and they're saying that by I can't remember where it was by, but they reckon that Ripple will take on 14% of Swift. So I don't know.
I think that was actually Brad Garlinghouse making that statement.
It was Brad Garlinghouse, but I can't remember what the most crucial part of this news I can't remember, basically, which is when.
Just make it up, Mike. Just make it up.
But, just make it up.
By the end of 2025. This is not financial advice, people. All right. So Friday, the XRP ecosystem powers DeFi and tokenization. So XRP is basically becoming a full stack ecosystem, is what Friday's announcement was about. Saturday is just institutional adoption is accelerating, and obviously which leads us into Sunday, where we're waiting for ETFs and the central banks to start doing their thing, which we might know a bit more in the coming weeks. But another little thing I wanted to talk about which is really relevant to tonight's guest, is I wanted to talk a little bit about the XRPL Accelerator Program. So this is for people that are building on chain. So for those of you that don't know, the Accelerator Program is powered by Ripple and Tenity, a global fintech incubator and accelerator formerly called F10. And they partner with companies. They're partners with companies like UBS and Six Group. And their mission is to take top tier startups from idea to real world impact. So this is like a 12-week hybrid program that runs from September to November 2025. And it's built to supercharge entrepreneurs building financial tools directly on the XRP Ledger. So we're talking cross-border payment rails, DeFi infrastructure, AI-powered tools, real-world asset tokenization, real innovation built with purpose. So selected founders can receive a good chunk of money in non-equity grants, which means you keep 100% ownership of your company. You get access to masterclasses, one-on-one mentorship, pitch refinement, Ripple's investor network, and the final spotlight, a demo day in Singapore where you can pitch to major backers and builders live. And there's for those that, this is of interest to, there's a certain, there's criteria, but just a quick review of criteria. So you need a solid MVP, a minimum viable product, a technical founding team, a clear go-to-market strategy, and their applications are now open for cohort 7. So for the next, the next onboarding of people that want to enroll in this. So if any of that caught your attention, then you're going to want to stick around for tonight's episode, because our guest is actually in this program that I'm talking about and already making moves, including recent partnerships with Archway Finance, a key player in on-chain credit and lending, and more recently, Schumann Financial, a growing name in XRPL-based fintech. So sit back, get ready to learn, and hear it straight from someone who's in the program and already making waves. And without further ado, back to Palis.
Nice one, Mike. I think you've been dropping some good nuggets there. That's good. Love it. Love it.
Cheers, mate.
If any,
yours are the best. Yours are the best.
If anyone would like to join in the space, please put hands up and we'll try and get you up. Please share the space. Please like. Please follow us so that you can know what we're doing and stuff. So Panos, without further ado, less of the nugget rubbish. Let's get you up, my friend. Panos, can you open up your mic? Or welcome to the space again.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Thank you for the invite.
How you doing, Panos?
Yeah, doing great. Keep working as always, keep building.
I believe it was your second anniversary just the other day, 3 days ago or so.
Yeah, 2nd of September, yeah.
Congratulations. And I'm glad you're spending that time with us tonight. That's good.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, glad to be here.
So as Mike had already alluded to with the Archway Finance, can you just tell us a little bit about that? I mean, some people in the audience might not even know who you are. So if you can just elaborate what you do and what Archway Finance is all about, that'd be great.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm Panos. I'm co-founder and CEO of Anodos Labs. My background is in finance and accounting. I've been in crypto and pretty much XRPL and the ecosystem for almost a decade. So, my whole crypto journey has been XRP since day one. So I was like, a user and investor, initially. Then I started a consulting firm, started advising different projects. And for the last 2 years ago, together with Winchester here, with some other great people, we decided to start Anodos Labs with a goal to simplify this overcomplicated space with a big focus on DeFi and financial use cases, and try to basically elevate the XRPL and showcase the powerful capabilities that most don't know about this chain. We're trying to basically bring DeFi to the average person, try to abstract all these complexities of this technology. And yeah, that's what we do.
Awesome. So that sounds like you're very busy. You sound like you're very busy.
Yeah, that's true. And also, about the Archway Finance, technically right now, obviously, we started with a DEX interface once, basically, when we started in 2023. That was when the AMM was announced, that, an AMM is coming on XRPL, and we all know that, XRP has had an order book DEX. It was the first DEX in history since 2012. And back then, also the AMM was announced, and we thought it's a great opportunity to build a user-friendly interface, because basically, even now, most XRP holders, most of the community haven't even used the DEX yet. And there are many reasons for that, the complexity, the poor UX, most of the, platforms out there are very hard to use, especially for beginners. So that's why we decided to start with a simple to use platform so anyone can access the DEX, liquidity, AMM, all these amazing features that the XRPL offers. And we have done that. So now the next big focus is how we can leverage the XRPL and build this financial super app, or neobank, you can say it, so that we can actually bring all these powerful solutions, especially focusing on payments and, remittances, spending, all these basic banking services, and how we can bring them to the average person in business. And this is where we are completely focused right now, and we're trying to, make all these partnerships, try to make all the essential integrations, and Archway Finance is one of them. They basically have regulated payment trails, MiCA compliance, about Euro, GBP, US dollars, seamless on-off ramping, trying to provide this, let's say, seamless experience to our users. That's the core focus right now.
So I'm really pleased. Just speaking personally, that you're looking into a DEX that's usable, because the XRPL DEX is clunky. It's quite hard to navigate. If you're a complete newbie in sort of crypto world, it's really quite a challenge. So hats off to that one. That is obviously something that many people have probably highlighted. I'm going to ask you a question. It might be a little bit off key to what you're talking about, but are you going to be adopting the loaning protocol on your platform, so you can loan out your XRP, the lending and loaning protocol?
Absolutely. So basically, with the app we're building, as I said, like it's a financial super app. So any financial use case, any, let's say, on-chain banking service that you can think of, that includes like lending, swapping, like any other like payments, spending with your card, any like XRPL asset. So anything you can imagine, yeah, we want to support it. So anything that comes out on XRPL, and even like on the VM sidechain in the future, like, connecting these two chains, we want to support it. So obviously, and the goal is to make it, let's say, invisible to the end users, hide all the complexities, so people actually don't realize they're using the XRPL and all this, let's say, great technology to facilitate all this. I mean, that's our end goal. So yes, absolutely, we'll support this.
Is this, Panos, is this app, it's both phone, mobile and web-based, or where is this app, or how is this app going to function?
It's only mobile, so it's a mobile first. So a mobile application will be able to download on like Android or like Apple devices. That's the goal. And it's actually the first of its kind, at least on XRPL ecosystem. You can think of it, it's like a banking application, but we can think of it like as a decentralized bank. And I always give this analogy where, what Ripple is doing for institutions, we're doing for consumers and small businesses. So you can think all this great technology that Ripple uses and leverages to like do payments, like to remove like friction or reduce costs, all this kind of stuff. So far, only institutions are benefiting from this, and we're not seeing, like, for example, if you as an XRP holder or as a user you want to use, let's say, Ripple's technology or XRPL to send a simple payment from fiat to fiat, you can't. And you can, you could in theory use, let's say, a bank or institution that uses Ripple technology, but usually banks don't, let's say, transfer the benefits to the end customers. And we've seen this all these years. So we need a consumer first application that leverages all this and gives all these benefits directly to consumers. So that's what we are trying to do.
Is there a limitation on the amount that you can send? Is it $300, $500, $1,000 in value, or there is no limitation?
I mean, it really depends on the liquidity, of course, and like our on-ramp partners. But yeah, I don't think like there will be like any low limitations. For example, you want to send $1,000 or $10,000. For example, let's say you want to make a cross-border payment from US dollars to euros. You'll be able to do that, very easily. So yeah, no restrictions for that type of amounts.
Is the one final question? Is the amount, let's say, do you need to transfer? Does it have to be, let's say, in a stable coin, or let's say if an investor has, $1,000 worth of let's say XDX, is there going to be some sort of swap done before the transfer? Or does everything have to be already, shall we say, prepared before, and then the investor or the user just presses the button?
So I think, there are two cases here. The first one, because as I said, like the target user base here is the everyday person in business. So we want to go to the masses and attract these people to actually use our app. So basically, they will never know they're using the XRPL or RLUSD or any stable coins. For example, we have virtual IBANs, so you'll be able to send from your bank account to our app. You're saying dollars, but you're actually receiving RLUSD, but the user actually never sees that. So we're hiding all this complexity, and you can go, from and to, like off chain, on chain, like seamlessly. But the user sees it as they see, like it's like US dollars, it's like fiat, but in reality it's like on chain, it's like stable coins. And the other case is where, let's say, more crypto native experts have all these let's say XRPL tokens or assets. You'll be able to do that. We can do that for you. Basically, let's say you hold a certain token, and you want to send to, let's say, US dollars to their friend's bank account. Well, that, will happen in the background. So all the swaps and the selling, the off-ramping, all this will happen automatically. So this is what we want to facilitate. Basically, the user will not have to know or care about all this, let's say, crypto native stuff.
Okay, yeah. So in that sense, you're technically onboarding people without knowing them that they're being onboarded into blockchain.
Exactly. Yeah, the user will never know they're using the XRPL or any stablecoin. That's the whole point of it. It's like using any other, let's say, fintech or neobank. I mean, you can think of Revolut, Cash App,
right? PayPal, stuff like that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, all these big names in the traditional fintech world and traditional financial world. The experience will be exactly the same. Very simple, very seamless. But in the background, it will be XRPL. XRP stablecoins doing all the magic. And essentially, that's how we reach mass adoption. Imagine now millions of people using our app and they never realize they are using XRPL and XRP. So yeah, this is what we want to facilitate.
Is there a fee involved with using it?
Depends. I mean, what fee, depends on where. I mean, of course there will be different subscription plans, all the traditional neobanks, giving you different features, premium features. Of course, you have the card, Visa, MasterCard, to spend your assets. Right. You pay with XRP or USD or whatever directly to make your purchases. Use your, our app as a savings account. You can also earn, let's say, save yield through tokenized treasuries. For example, earn that 4% yield on US dollars. And make that all the seamless. So, of course, there will be some kind of fees, but, nothing crazy, and of course, much lower than what all these traditional, let's say, fintechs or banks offer.
Great. Sounds good. Now, this app, this is not currently operating right now. Because I've used your other, your website, for the AMM and stuff. Are you talking about a completely different that you have active right now?
Yeah, I mean, the Anodex, the DEX interface is live now.
Yes.
This app is not live yet. It's under development.
Okay.
We're aiming for end of the year to Q1 26 launch. So we have a few months until that's live. But we are doing all the work right now. And other individuals, we also have business use cases, which Winchester here, Peter, can explain more about how businesses will actually be able to leverage our app and take into the XRPL. Peter, you want to explain more?
It's my turn to talk. So let me say hi to everybody. Thanks for hosting this space. Thanks for inviting us. I don't think you guys want me to go into the boring thing about explaining about who I am and what I've done in life. So I'll just jump in and say that one of the main things that a lot of people don't realize is that when you're using a financial app, people are not going to go back in time and do more actions, right? This is one of the main things that we were talking about when we were starting to conceptualize Anodos, is that you can't have new tech be more complicated than an old tech. People are just not going to do it. You're not going to go from using a washing machine to washing your hands by washing your clothes by hands. That's just not going to happen. So first and foremost is that infrastructure is important. But I mean, if you pay attention, I'm just rounding off the point here before I go any further. Infrastructure is great, but if you think about infrastructure as a good little analogy here, you build the infrastructure for a city. So you build the buildings, you put the streets in, you do all the things that you need to do. You're still going to need street lights. You're still going to need stop signs. You're still going to need to have light switches to turn on the lights when you go in, right? Anodos is kind of putting on those fixtures, quote unquote, to make it very easy for individual users. We shouldn't even be using terms like, for example, onboarding. It should just be signing up, right? Keeping things simple and easy for people to be able to go forward. Now, as far as businesses are concerned, one of the main aspects of this app is the POS system of it. So right now, I'm originally from Montreal, Canada. Right now I'm actually in Greece with the rest of the team. But I can tell you that in Montreal, the average restaurant right now, as we speak, does approximately $100,000 in business and sales a month, majority on plastic, whether it's Visa or debit card. They're paying 2.5 to 3.5% on their total processing fees off the top of the gross. Now, at the best case scenario, anybody who understands how the restaurant world works, if you look it up, you'll see it for yourself. The absolute maximum, if they do everything correct and all the stars align, they are making no more than 10% profit on the gross. So for quick, easy math, $100,000 a month means $10,000 profit. But that 2.5 to 3.5% in processing fees is 25 to 3,000. So that's a big chunk when you're comparing it to a $10,000 profit. Where our financial super app is going to come in is irrelevant and irregardless of volume or amounts of ticket items. The business owner will be able to just pay a small flat rate irregardless of their volume. This is a game changer, especially for a restaurant that has very small margins and is basically just hanging off on the edge of survival. That's going to interject a lot more money for them, and that's a very specific real world use case. Secondary point on that, and I'll stop there, is that there's also batch settlements. And batch settlements and POS basically take anywhere between 1-2 days, depending if it's a holiday. Now, if a business owner is trying to have access to their funds, but because it's Thanksgiving or some kind of holiday and it winds up being a long weekend and they don't have access to their money, well, that's disastrous, right? I mean, they have payroll, they have all kinds of things to do. On our system, they're being paid directly in stablecoin and they're right on chain. And if they want to make some purchases to their vendors or whatnot through crypto, they could do it. If they want to quote unquote off ramp and just go into fiat, they could do like in Montreal, we have e-transfer. I know in the States there's other venues, but I mean, you could just send the money over to your account and it's there instantly. So it's kind of really becoming, when we say this whole cliche term of becoming your own bank, well, in essence, you actually are. So that's just to wrap up some of that.
Okay. Daniel, do you have any questions before, or Palace, do you have any questions?
No, not at the moment. No, I don't have any questions at this point. Palace?
I think we all love the idea of being our own bank. That idea, it sounds awesome. That's, I think, is why we're in crypto. Well, most people, I can't speak for everyone, obviously. If you like this space, please share it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like. I can't talk. I've only had a couple.
You melted that a bit, didn't you?
Where's Where's Yeah. So, Panos, have you noticed that there's been an increase in users since you last come on? Has there been do you have any sort of feedback on user levels?
You mean like generally on XRPL?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're like, I would say, the numbers are still pretty low. I mean, yes, we're seeing slight improvements. For example, I just saw that we hit like 7 million wallets, like XRPL accounts. I mean, yeah, numbers are slightly improving, but I think we still have to do a lot better. I mean, the volumes are still pretty low. For example, the 24-hour DEX volume is around 5-6 million right now, which is very, very low. So we need to do something to upgrade, to move this up a lot. It's like we can't just rely on, let's say, XRPL tokens, mint coins, and traders. We have to work on real world use cases. And, for example, with our app, everything will be done through XRPL. So when someone wants to send a payment or go from RUSD, another EURP, another stable coin, everything will happen through the DEX. Or even on-chain FX, which is a huge use case. And, we know that FX is the biggest market in the world. We're talking about a multi-trillion dollar market. And if we bring that on chain, and especially on XRPL, we're talking about, very big numbers. So we have to focus on these use cases, leveraging the DEX and the AMM to actually bring the volumes up and actually bring, for example, as I said, imagine millions of people using the XRPL and the DEX and all these amazing features, but without ever knowing it. But they are benefiting from all these real world cases and let's say in their daily lives. So I think this is the main way we can actually increase a lot the users and the activity on XRPL. But, we still have some improvements, but I think they're pretty low and we need to do a lot better.
Winchester, put your hand.
Yeah. So just to continue off Panos' point, I think everyone here could pretty much agree, unless there's like some really hardcore like computer science geeks in here, that most people don't know how to, what the processors are on their phone. Yet they use their phone, right? They press the button, they charge it, they press, I want to go on Facebook, they sign in, they want to go on Twitter, whatever, they want to make a phone call, they press the icon of the phone, the actual rotary phone, which is hilarious, right? So, I mean, they don't care about like the processors. They don't care about like how the the fiber optics work. They don't care about like 5G, 6G, 72G. Nobody cares really, right? All they care about is that they're going to use a device easily and do what they got to do. That's it. So this has been the major bane of our existence in Anodos as a team, is we're constantly saying, I don't care about this and I don't care about that. How do we make this where it's stupid proof? How do we make this where my grandmother could use it? How do we make this where people can transition from Web 2 to Web 3 seamlessly, completely, because nobody really cares. At the end of the day, this was the genius behind Steve Jobs. This was the genius behind Bill Gates, is they said, Linux is a great operating system, but nobody can friggin' use it. So let's just make our own out-of-the-box systems that people will gladly pay more for, to upgrade and whatnot. And at the end of the day, that's all. I mean, we didn't go from manual cars. We didn't go from automatic cars to manual cars. We went from manual cars to automatic cars. We didn't go from manual windows. We went from manual windows to automatic, not the other way around. So technology has to make things simpler. For it to excite people, it's got to be really stupid proof where they could go in and play without any fear. Right now, I can tell you that, I got into the space 6 years ago, and just to get my KYC done and to get on some central exchanges, I did it like 3 or 4 times, giving up halfway through, getting cold feet, saying, what the hell am I doing? Where am I putting my ID? What the hell's going on here? Like all these complex things of keeping my keys and whatnot. And listen, guys, I had 2 web design companies that I successfully exited, and the way I had them build by being bootstrapped was basically this. I called people and I said, I know you can make your own website. I know you won't. I know if you do make it, it's not going to be as good as I make it, but you don't want to pay thousands of dollars. So how about this? How about you pay me a flat rate of $100 a month? I'll take care of everything. You call me on my cell, weekend or not, give you all the customer service you need, give you exactly the thing you need, and you just pay me every month, and I'll leave you alone, you leave me alone. And you know what? I built 2 very successful companies that way. I didn't tell them, well, go on GoDaddy and learn how to upload your domain name, and then redirect it, get a VPN so people can't see your address, and all this complexity. I didn't do any of that. I just removed it all, and that's what Anodos is trying to do: is completely remove everything as far as complexity is concerned, because you will never get mass adoption if you don't make it massively easy.
People want fast, cheap, and easy.
Fast, cheap, and easy, exactly.
Fast, cheap, easy. Sorry, Liffrey.
No problem. Have you seen issues? I'm assuming every country's going to have their own regulations of how possibly your app operates. Also, financial regulations of connecting to the banks. Because obviously, if you're a business, you're going to need to get that cash out and apply that to your expenditures for the business, because not everything operates off of crypto right now, which in an ideal world we would want everything to operate like that, but we're not there yet. Banking regulations are definitely have to be a pain on your side right now, I'm assuming, depending on where you're going to allow this app to work.
Well, not necessarily. It's and I'll let Panos take over, but let me just say this. At the end of the day, we're a decentralized platform, right? So we're not going to have anybody's money in our custody. Everyone's going to have their own custody. So where the real issues become really intense is when you're going to be doing mass custody for other people and other businesses and that sort of thing. Legalities get very hairy at that point. The other thing is that we're building partnerships with other, enterprises that do have licensing that we could work with together, which is a good sidestep pivot instead of us trying to get everything done. Everybody has their strong suits. We have ours, other enterprises have theirs, and it's always a good idea to partner up and build partnerships that way. But I'll let Panos elaborate on it more.
Yeah, so basically, our app will be like self-custodial and like global. That's like the whole idea. Technically, like it's a crypto wallet as well. It's like it's like Zaman, but like for the average person, because we know that Zaman is the number one on XRPL. It's great, but to say the truth, it's not beginner friendly. It's not for the average person. So technically, just to describe our flow, so when someone signs up on our app, we'll be utilizing passkeys and biometrics on the background. So technically, there will be no private keys. Everything will be secured by this, biometrics and MPC technology. So technically, you create an XRPL account in seconds, not minutes, not hours. You never have to deal with all these, let's say, complexities and private keys and whatever every wallet has. So you just sign up, and then you have access. You just decide, what plan you want. You have access to our app. You can do like your KYC to get your card necessarily, to apply with regulations. So you get the card to spend. You get like an IBAN account, like you do on every bank. So you can think of it like a bank as well. You get all these services available to you, like on-off ramps, payouts, from to bank accounts, anywhere you can imagine. And as Peter said, because, we will never hold any custody or data of user funds. Everything is decentralized. You still have your full control. Even if, we go away and we shut down, you still have access to your funds. You just, move your, your keys on your wallet to another place. Like, you just import your keys. But yeah, that's the whole point. So in terms of regulation, we're just leveraging, other partners, licenses. Everything is like still compliant. So yeah, but the goal idea is for like everyone to have their own freedom to do whatever they want and access all these services without banks or any middleman.
And another thing I want to add there, just to make a clarification. So I've worked at HSBC and I've worked at CIBC, and I understand the banking system extremely well. And I'm going to add something else there's a big misconception on. Barter and trade is not illegal. And in essence, if I send you, for example, 5 XRP for mowing my lawn, well, we did a barter. Even though that's not a legal tender currency, there's nothing illegal about doing that. So we could exchange value left, right, and center without a problem. Where the real legalities are going to come in and play in any ecosystem and anything to do with blockchain as a whole, where the real complexities are going to come is two issues. Number one is going to be custody. Is it decentralized, self-custodial, or is it like an intermediary third party? They're going to have to go under immense scrutiny. And the other thing is, at the very base point, is tax remittance. So if you're doing a lot of business, for example, like let's say you were doing cash business, right? Cash is legal tender. You could go into any business and transact in cash. If the business owner doesn't declare their taxes, that's illegal. They're going to have their own problem. The same rule applies, and it's the same type of functionality. So in essence, what we're building, we don't have any real resistance. The only thing that we have to look at is to see what kind of additions we could come in with. For example, if we were, let's say, partner with like a major credit card, and say that people can use that credit card in lieu of, any other thing. That's the only thing that's really going to be in question here. But as far as legalities are concerned, there's absolutely nothing illegal about transacting in favors and time and in barter in Norway, Norway and in the Netherlands in the 1600s they had the tulip fiasco. I don't know if you guys ever looked that up. But the tulips were extremely expensive, and they were being used as a commodity like gold, right? What? Tulips just growing from the ground. So I mean, that wasn't legal tender, right? And you're going to tell me it was hundreds of years ago, but the same principles apply, and the banking systems are extremely old. They run on the same principles.
So one of you guys mentioned about that if, let's say, if Anodos Finance would happen to go away and you just switch out the wallets, it brought a question to me, so I'm assuming you're going to have multiple servers handling all this information, because the last thing a business would want is just be localized to one server, and something happens to that one server, then they're not able to do any kind of financial transactions. So I'm assuming you're going to have several servers who want to back up each other to be able to operate this app, or what are your thoughts on that?
So basically, I mean, yeah, that is true. And also, this is something that, we'll also announce like next week. Like, I can give like a lot of information yet, but yeah, I mean, we're building like a whole infrastructure where, will power our app, and not only our app, but, many other projects and, developers on the XRPL. That's what I can tell you for now. But technically, yeah, I mean, everything, we rely on this, decentralized and globally available, infrastructure. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, technically, the first layer is the XRPL, which, as you know, it's global, it's decentralized, nobody can shut down. And on top of it, we're building this, infrastructure that connects all these features, and then it powers our app. So yeah, as long as XRPL lives and keeps going, yeah, I mean, we will still keep going as well.
Thank you. Cookie, you requested a speaker, the mic. Would you like to ask a question or bring something up?
Hey there, is the audio okay? Because I'm on my earbuds.
You sound fine, mate.
Brilliant. So you guys are mentioning about the wallet is generated. So you generate an R address and the biometrics secure it. Whereabouts is the private key stored? Because there is a private key generated for that R address. And then if I want to export that wallet, how do I access it?
Okay, that's right. So basically, I mean, you're utilizing MPC technology, and we're partnering with Palisade for that. So Palisade is built, supported by Ripple, and they're building this wallet infrastructure. So technically, you can think of it like, companies like, Ripple and other enterprises. Basically, the key is split among many different players, primarily enterprises. So there is no single point of failure, never. And if the user wants to do that, I mean, they can extract, let's say, the private key. If they want to do that and have, let's say, if you are a crypto native and basically you know what you're doing, you can still extract this key, export it, and then you can just import it to anywhere else. But yeah, the idea is, because as I said, we're targeting the average person, they will never have to see an R address, they will never have to see a private key, because everything will be secured and done for them in the background. But yeah, it will still be done and handled in a decentralized way, and where there is no single point of failure.
That's great. It's this an area that I've worked in for a while, consultancy wise, and it blurs the lines a little. And I've yet to get clarity from a regulator on it, because it's a self-custody solution, but ultimately it's a non-custodial solution. So it's not quite self-custodial because the MPC exists and it's dependent on third parties to custody. So there's definitely some hurdles that you have to navigate, and I'm super interested to find out how you guys navigate them over time, especially when it comes to enabling things like swaps in app, or diverting to third parties for those services as well, like the handoff process, because that tends to be the big resistance point with regulators, particularly in the EU and the UK.
Yeah, and your question was great. Absolutely. Sorry, Panos, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to add, on the license, for example, we're working, as I said, with Palisade, and Palisade, is, fully licensed. So, they're covered by regulations. If anything happens, of course, there will be, all these, let's say, what happens, if a company shuts down. But even if Palisade shut down, you still, because, there is no single point of failure, but, licenses still apply, everything is, regulated. So yeah, so far, I don't think there will be any issues there. So because, even if they shut down, you still have all these multiple parties, which, as you said, it can be considered fully non-custodial, but still, it's not custodial either, because, you have all this, this private key split into many different parties, and nobody can actually access it other than the user itself when they actually realize that want to export. So that's the only case that actually can export the private key, and that's the end user. So nobody else can do that.
So I was just going to add that number one, it was a very good question. I loved hearing it, to just be very honest. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to be able to balance, right? So if you're going to be able to balance where people can take shards of their key from multiple split sections and put it back together and then leave and go about their daily life, that's the option that needs to be had. But at some point there's there's a give and take, right? I mean, there's a little bit of a trade-off. And when you want to give people the opportunity to adopt any kind of technology very easily, you have to go a little bit about the way we're going about it. The thing is that I believe personally, and this is just my personal opinion, not from Anodos, but as Peter Winchester, I think the more we get along in the next few years and progress, and the knowledge comes out, and more education comes out, and more mass use cases are created, this question is going to come up a little bit more and more, and I think there's going to be more newer solutions that are going to come out. And I think for the time being, this is like leveraging every best case scenario where people could, not worry about the complexity, still be safe, still be able to retrieve their key if they, acquire the knowledge to be able to do that. And by the time they get to the point where they're comfortable, that generation of people, I think there's going to be an entirely new generation of people that are going to already be so intertwined with blockchain that it's going to be like a joke, right? And there's going to be new solutions. So I just wanted to say that, these aren't permanent solutions for the next 20 years, right? These are solutions that are maybe for the next 3-4 years. And I'm pretty sure the way we work as a team, we'll come up with our own solution, even better solution.
Okay. Are we still on?
I am.
We are, yeah.
Just making sure, everything got so quiet. So it's like, better check.
I wasn't sure if someone hit the mute button.
No, wasn't on my end, so no.
No, I've done that once before, but I haven't done that tonight. I was just going to say, so what is it that, whether I might have missed it along the show if we have said what I'm about to say, but what is, what sets Anodos apart from the other sort of people in the finance industry that are trying to do the same thing? Just for people at home, like what's the A and B difference?
Sure.
Straight.
Sure. Panos, you want to take it or should I? It's up to you, man. And it's Anodos, guys, just so you know, Anodos. Ano, like ano, those, like Spanish say two. Anodos.
Are you because from Panos, I can tell Panos is Greek, because I'm Greek, I come from a Greek family. I can tell from his accent, but your accent, Peter, sorry. Panos.
I'm Montreal. I'm Montreal. I'm Montreal from Montreal, but my parents are both Greek. So if that helps you.
Yeah, see, I can't talk it properly, but I understand parts. But,
See, Mike, didn't I tell you earlier about it's more, it'd probably be like more like Spanish.
Yeah,
I know those.
because that's what I get from your accent, Peter. I get the Spanish. I do. I can hear that. So you've got the Greeks and the Mexicans together.
Let's go for Spanish. It's closer to that continent,
Sorry, back to the question. I digress.
Okay, so what sets us apart? What sets Anodos apart from like other chains, or was that like other projects on other chains? Was that the question?
So in general, like other projects on other chains, just in general.
Okay, well, number one, I would say our belief in the entire blockchain world. I mean, we're the first on the XRPL to do an IPO completely on-chain. So, I mean, our payroll's on-chain. Most of our expenses are on-chain. We didn't come out with a token. We just tokenized our stock, right? And that's what happened. So, I mean, we're full on in. That's number one. I don't think everybody is based on their actions. Number two, I would say the fact that we're really focusing on the user. We're not trying to create what we think is best and then create solutions to the problems we create and then tell everybody this is how you have to go and use our software or hardware or whatnot, right? Instead, what we're doing is we're listening to our community. We're listening to ourselves because we are part of the same community. We're users ourselves, and we're looking to create real world solutions for real world people. And I don't think there's anybody out there. I don't want to sound cocky or conceited, but I mean, I've looked at everything, and there isn't anybody out there that's even trying to change the terminology and put the terminology back to Web 2, where we're talking about sign up instead of onboard, and all these types of things, right? I would say that we're really extremely user centric to like a ridiculous degree. And we care about the small business owner who is struggling, because anybody who's had a small business knows that at least for the first few years, probably on average, it's 3. The statistics say, after you pass 3 years of business, you're going to survive. But sometimes it's even less than that. If you have been in the situation of being a small business owner, then you have to wear 7 to 10 different hats, and probably 6 to 8 of them you had absolutely no experience on, and you were learning on the fly. And why not help this blood source to the entire economy of the world is small to medium-sized businesses? Why not help them be able to function better, get things done quicker, integrate with AI, be able to get their money in their hands the fastest second possible? I don't think there really is any other project out there that has gone with such passion and obsession as our entire team, and the proof is, look at what we're doing and how we're doing it. I think that's what sets us apart. Now, I don't know, Panos, if you want to add something, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I would just add, that, there are obviously, many great projects in this industry. But the problem is that, everyone is too focused on, let's say, this crypto bubble. Everyone is focusing on building for the same users, for the same, like, crypto native, let's say, people. And nobody's really focusing on trying to build for the real world out there. Obviously, there's Ripple building for the institutions, like trying to solve real world problems. Everyone knows, there are some big players in the industry. There are some good projects, but not enough, especially in the consumer space, the consumer apps. There are not nearly enough, projects building, different solutions, not just, financial use cases, but, tons of other use cases like healthcare, like data storage, like, security, all these kind of use cases that can actually benefit people and businesses on their everyday life, and we're seeing almost none of them. So I would say that we are focusing on financial use cases, and I think we're one of the very few ones in the whole industry actually focusing on the everyday person.
Yeah, see, I think that's what stood out to me. You're going for the user first experience. And you can't go wrong, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to be using the platform. They're the ones that's got to work for, and I think you're doing a great job of that. Live free. Right.
You got to do that KISS protocol. The KISS protocol. That keep it simple, stupid.
Oh yeah. For a minute, I thought you were like, what, the Greek kiss? What, the 2 on each cheek?
Yeah, you can do that too if you want to welcome into the app.
No, we don't want none of that. No.
Whatever it takes, Mike. Whatever it takes.
After a few drinks, come on, at least. So I was going to just mention. So what's been the biggest pain point for you guys? What's been the biggest hurdle or obstacle to overcome in this journey?
That's, before that, I would like, I would point out like how we went against creating a token, which actually, complements like your last question, which, it's been a big struggle, especially for XRPL projects. I would say that, it's, technically you can make money in an easy way on XRPL. Everyone is waiting for batch transactions so that can actually charge fees, because you can't charge fees without smart contracts and all this like automation. It's like but let's say, for example, Zaman and how like a few other projects do it is like you need like to sign to transactions, like a very bad user experience. So like not being able to easily make money on XRPL. Also like most or almost all projects create a token just to raise money, and like obviously a token creates engagement, creates this like holders, let's say, but ultimately most tokens are failures. And we just decided we don't want to extract value from the community, we only want to add value. So that's why that was one of the main reasons we decided that we'll never do a token, even though that would give us a lot more money, a lot more engagement, a lot more like exposure. But we decided to go like in the, let's say, what stayed true to our vision and like our ethos, So it's been hard trying to make money, raise money, and like try to, let's say, survive as a project. But, we're still here, and, we will never stop because we're obsessed, and we'll just keep going until we finish our job.
Love it. Go on,
I noticed, Panos, that y'all just, or maybe I should have noticed sooner. Y'all started the Anodos swap off of the DApp off of the Zaman wallet. When did that start up?
Do you mean the XRP on Zaman?
Yes.
Oh yeah. We launched that on March.
Okay.
Because Zaman approached us. We were good friends with the XRP Labs team in Vice. They wanted this, let's say, swap feature for their wallet. So they wanted like us and like you have like also Bits and Dex Magnetic being swap providers. So yeah, we built that and launched that back in March. So it's like a very easy way to swap within Zaman without going anywhere else. But of course, we also have like our platform Anodex. You can go directly to our web app. You can do more there, obviously. You can not only swap, you can also like provide liquidity, manage your pools, and more features coming. So yeah, that's what is live right now.
Now on the swap, actually, I was just using it recently. I have been noticing. I didn't see any cut besides the XRPL fee of the 0.00012 XRP, whatever it is. I didn't see the app taking any kind of fees. You're not charging any fees on that swap?
Yeah, we charge 0 fees. Zaman, they charge on their side if you like swap through Zaman. They charge like 0.8, but that's like their revenue. We don't charge anything. And on our web app as well, we don't charge anything as well because, as I said, like, even if we charge, like, we're waiting for batch, as I said, batch transactions. We'll start charging a small fee, but we will obviously be much smaller than all the other competitors. But yeah, so far we are not charging anything. You can freely swap. But yeah, so far, we haven't like charged because we don't want to do that at the expense of the user experience, like others are doing. But yeah, once batch are live, we'll start charging a small fee. But yeah, nothing big.
Okay, thank you very much. And does anybody have any questions or come up from the audience that they have any questions for Anodos or for Winchester?
I don't have
any final words there?
I think it's been really great to listen. Actually, I was going through the social media and website actually as they were talking, going through it. I think, I look forward to what you're doing with the future. I think it's good. It's good we've got good people on the XRPL, looking to do good things. So yeah, it's been fantastic listening to you, Panos. I don't have any questions, so I'm pretty happy.
Well, Panos, that's pretty rare to have Daniel not have any questions. So that's pretty good. You did very well explaining your project and the product and the company.
Great to hear.
I must say, we have somebody in the audience that around this time we bring up. I'm going to just make him a speaker. Sorry guys, take it away while I try and figure out some technical, I'll make him. Literally, I've been doing it through the whole show, and while I go to do it, I've just...
Did you just mute you just muted everyone, didn't you?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think he did. He did, because I got muted.
No. I think he was trying to... Was it Wesley you're trying to bring up?
Yeah, he's trying to bring up Wes. Wes is an hour late.
I didn't mute anything. I didn't mute anything.
Where's he been?
I don't think I did.
Wesley's on that, what's the daylight savings time? I don't know.
We need a bit of another, is it Anodos tech?
Anodos, let's practice this. Anodos.
We need to make it a bit simpler, so I don't get lost.
You're worse than Palace for trying to pronounce words, mate.
You know what? It's because of Live Free. Because I told him it must have a Greek pronunciation, and then he's telling me it's 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 got the Latino vibe in there. It confused me, to be honest. And then both of them, when they both pronounced it, I was definitely confused because Peter made it sound like it was more sort of Mexican than Greek.
So let me just tell you guys something funny. The entire team here is listening, okay? Because I'm with the entire rest of the team, and as Greek speakers, we're like, it's Anodos, accent on the first. And I'm saying that it's hard for people who speak different languages. Just like for Greeks, they can't say J, they'll say Z. So it's not Jimmy, it's Jimmy. And I'm explaining this. It's like different languages, man. This is what it is.
Anodos. It sounds. I like it. Anodos. Go on, Wes.
Hello, can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Wes,
Do you happen to have the question?
We start at 2000 every Sunday, Wes.
I do. I am aware of that. I have had an emergency weekend.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I'll tell you guys all about it after the chat, but I do not have access to last week's question, and I'm trying to wrap my brain now which it was, what it was.
It was
I think between us all.
It was from 666 meme coin, from Lucifer.
Yeah. I haven't got my pad with me.
All right, I guess we're just gonna.
Do you want me to shed some light on it?
Please, sir.
So, Wesley, just for you, the Lucifer from the 666 meme coin, the question to you, Panos, was what are you doing to onboard people? Which I think you've already kind of explained a little bit, but if you can answer the question and think of another question for us for the next project, that'd be good.
Top one, Palace.
Great. So, what we're doing, we're doing many different things, like from simplifying the way people create wallets on XRPL. As I said, we'll be, we're the first bringing passkeys and bringing, let's say, this simple to use wallet creation, XRPL, account creation, which will be done in seconds. That's the first part. We also, let's say, the first DEX interface to have on-off ramps and this one-stop shop for all users to interact with XRPL. So we're simplifying both the onboarding and the interacting with XRPL. And now with our neobank, we're also the first to bring these on-chain banking services and off-ramping as well, bringing these pay-ins, payouts, fiat connections that only Ripple now offers to institutions, but we're now here to offer it to consumers, every single individual. And as I said, the end goal for us is for millions of people to be using the XRPL and to be onboarding and to be interacting, but without ever realizing it. And for us, that's how we'll contribute the most to this ecosystem. So yeah, that's the answer. And you said you needed one question for the next project?
Yeah. So basically, we ask every project that we get on if they can think of a question that we can put to the next project that comes on. It could be crypto related, business related, or even personal related, however you feel, really. Just a question there's a bit of a burning desire for you to be answered.
Panos, if you have one, great. If you don't, I do.
I think I have, but maybe you can also shoot one. But we'll say mine, and you can share yours. So my question is if you have a token, why do you have it, and how you are making your business or your project sustainable?
Nice, very good question. And going back to your onboarding question, I think a good way to onboard people is have lots of parties, Panos. So us at DPMF Live love to come to parties. So if you have any parties and you'd like to get DPMF Live down there, well, just send us.
Yeah, we do have one, on September 11th, next Thursday. We're doing our first ever XRPL meetup here in Greece, together with XRPL Commons. So if anyone wants to come in Greece, have some nice time, free food, nice weather.
There you go, Dan. Dan, sort it. Get the flights, get the hotels, sort it.
Looking at the flights.
Looking
at the flights.
I'll be late. I'll be late, boys. I'll just tell you now.
Oh, you ain't invited, mate. You ain't been here. You just turn up here for the holiday.
I'll tell you all, lads. There's no
Get back,
hospitality.
mate. Get back.
There's no hospitality.
I have come for the holiday.
Guys, we've got a hand up in the audience. Verse X, open up your mic, my friend, and ask your question. Fire away.
Hi guys, how's everyone? Thank you, Panos. I think that was a great AMA, and thank you, DPMF. Just a quick question for Panos and the team. Do you plan to add any more features to your platform? Because you guys have already pretty much made one of the best platforms on the XRPL, but I think it's severely undervalued, and because the XRPL is so spread out, I think we need something that's pretty much an all-in-one hub, that you have NFTs, rewards, yield farming, the lot of it, because to onboard everyone, we need to have everything all in one place. And I feel like jumping between all the different apps is pretty much difficult for people. And all the chains that I've blew off, like BNB, Solana and so on, they've got super apps where people can access everything all in one. So I'm just thinking, if we can add a few more features like NFTs, rewards and so on, then your app could definitely be the one that brings people in from other ecosystems, along with the simplicity.
This is Zaid, right?
It is, mate.
Yeah, nice to see you, right? So, your question is great, and of course, we have many more features to add on Anodex. Although, as I said, our core focus is on the financial super app now, which will technically, cover all this and be like a one-stop shop doing every single thing, but more focus on, let's say, the traditional financial world, like around like payments, transfer, remittances, card spending, stuff like that. And Anodex will remain the only crypto native product we will ever do. But of course, for example, the passkeys will also bring them to Anodex. So, for example, no need to have to download any new apps like, Zaman or like, Crossmark, like a separate wallet. So we'll bring passkeys to Anodex as well. So you'll be able to just sign up and create an account in a few seconds. Then just, connect with your biometrics, very simple. We already have like the on-off ramps, and, we will do more, of course, especially, once our app is live, like with, the card and all these things. I think it will just complement, our DEX. We'll also have like a portfolio dashboard coming soon. So you'll be able to basically manage your XRPL account in one place, being able to see your assets, your pools, your NFTs, different metrics. But at the same time, we want to still keep it, let's say, basic and focused on, around, let's say, what we're doing, and not just, for example, dilute, let's say, for example, yes, you'll be able to see your NFTs, but for example, we can't add, for example, to create NFTs, to like sell NFTs there, because, it'll be like 100 different things, and we'll just add, let's say, confusion to the users. So we just keep focusing on the DEX, on the, let's say, this DeFi use case, and offer the most important metrics to users. But yeah, of course, there are a lot of things to improve and new features to add. But yeah, at the same time, we want to keep it as user-friendly and simple as possible.
Perfect. I understand sticking your finger in too many pies will get complicated for people, and of course development, and the lack of funding would be pretty hard to do that and, make a good impact. But I feel like, I don't know if you can trade many XRPL projects within your platform right now. Would you consider adding a few more so we can get more traction, and us guys can promote that for you guys as well?
You can trade anything. There are no restrictions when it comes to the swap. You can trade like any token that exists on XRPL. There are no restrictions there. Right now there are like some, let's say, on the liquidity pools, because, it's like the first version. We're like try to upgrade our infrastructure. So we don't like have all the, let's say, thousands of liquidity pools available yet, but that's coming as well. But, you can create as well, like any pool you want. But if you go to the old pools, you will not see like, all the pools available. But, we're still adding more and more, and that will change soon with our like new infrastructure. So yeah, of course, the goal for us always is to be permissionless, to be decentralized. So there'll be like no restrictions or like hide or like block any asset or pool. Yeah, that's like the end goal. So yeah, we still have some upgrades to do, but yeah, we're getting there.
And just to add
Sorry.
first, I want to say thank you, first of all. Like, just really thank you for the kind words. I just don't want to forget saying that. That was really nice what you said. And it's really appreciated when you're hearing like people from the space, especially with your project and like with like, you know, other projects, recognizing like what you're trying to do, because you know, it's been extremely difficult, and, you know, any more additional, obviously, promotion would be amazing. We are going to be also focusing a little bit more on our marketing strategies, and what we're going to do. But I mean, as you know, without issuing a token, it's been extremely difficult. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're looking to add whatever we can that makes sense. Right? Like Panos was saying, basically, you know, if it's not in our direct wheelhouse, we don't want to over dilute, doing 10 million things. Like, you don't need to be, Chinese food, a Greek restaurant, Italian restaurant. You don't have to be all these restaurants all in one. You could just be one. You could provide a lot of different things. You could partner up with others, create, you know, really fun hyperlinks, to use a Web 2, example, between, you know, projects where, you know, if there's one section that really is really doing amazing with NFTs and doing a good setup, I don't personally see a reason why we wouldn't be able to cross promote and say, you know, if you want to do NFTs, go there. And, you know, if you buy NFTs from there, we could do something where we could promote you our way. Or if you swap on our decks, you know, maybe you'll get an NFT from them. Or, you know, there's things that are possible for sure. But it's always better to stick with what you know. And we're heavily, logic-based financial people. This is what it comes down to.
Perfect. Yeah, and I agree. What do you think's stopping people from coming to the XRPL? Because, you know, we're number 3 in terms of market cap, and, you know, we're like number, I don't know, 30, 40 in the ranks with index volume. Something's stopping people coming to the XRPL. Do you reckon it's past lawsuits or bad apps, or what do you think it is?
It's for sure. I think it's for sure a lot of the bad publicity that it got throughout the whole Ripple SEC case. I think that's completely undeniable. I think that another thing that's been happening, and I really don't know for the life of me, and I'm not a maxi. I hate the whole maxi mentality. You know, I'm heavy on XRP for sure. But I think there's something that's like very obvious at this point. Like, it's so evident, and it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just a complete observation on my end that I would watch financial channels like MSNBC. I would watch, like, you know, all these different news channels, and they would mention Bitcoin. They would mention Ethereum. They even mention Dogecoin, Shiba, and they would never even utter the letters XRP. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? It's like, this is like I don't want to like, you know, draw any conclusions as to why. Like, I don't want to get into any theories. I have my own opinions, but I don't want to debate that here. I'm just going to say that it's clear and evident that there has been almost no public exposure. There's been absolutely no mass media endorsement in any shape, way, or form. I think all the banks, even when you hear this, like, guys, I've been following this stuff so intensely, like I'm sure many of you have, like, for the past, you know, years, 6 years, and being originally from Canada and living there, I mean, seeing Ripple do partnerships with Royal Bank and the CIBC and the TD, and seeing all these things happen, like, they're actual factual things that are happening, but you keep hearing about all these bank partnerships, and yet the XRP itself is not moving, and there's no huge spikes, and you're saying, what's going on? Well, all this is due to apprehension. Banks, if anybody's worked in a bank here, you know, but if you haven't, I'll tell you one very basic truth. Banks are the last to adopt any technology. They remain last always. They're very, very slow moving. They're extremely clunky as far as their corporate structures are concerned. And no matter what they put on the table that they're going to do, it's going to take a very long time until the majority of commerce and governments start using it. They're not going to use it fully. They're not going to be the ones that, like, drop the big rock in the water. At least that's been my observation. I could be wrong, so I'm not putting my life on it, but that's been my observation.
Winchester, I think the words you're looking for there is, it's a conspiracy. Mainstream media seems to be hell-bent on getting people into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all those avenues. And then, hey presto, the world suddenly adopts XRP. There you go. That's my 2 pence. It's probably completely wrong,
It's almost
but there
like
you go.
they're trying to, you know, keep us away from XRP because they don't want us to enjoy the spoils.
Absolutely. Panos, mate, put your hand down, open your mic. It's your show.
So yeah, I mean, I just want to add, I mean, I absolutely agree with Peter. I mean, that's the one part, like the bad publicity, the misinformation from Bitcoin markets, obviously, even like from 2013. We all know, like, from the Bitcoin forum, they were paying people to say that, XRP is a scam, and Ripple as well, fighting, because, it was a threat. It just, it was built to be a better Bitcoin. That's the fact. So yeah, that's the one part. And the other part is that, unfortunately, Ripple has done a very, very bad job on, let's say, marketing the XRPL. For example, we have like, even David Schwartz has said it that, in 2014, the XRPL DEX was doing over $10 million in volume, and we're now less, like, 11 years later, we're less than that. So, which is crazy. And that has been because, at 2015-16, Ripple stopped completely marketing all the amazing XRPL features. That's another reason why almost nobody knows that the XRP has a DEX, even like XRP holders, not to mention like the outsider, like other, let's say, ecosystem. They don't even have a clue about all the features that XRPL has. For example, XRPL was the first blockchain to have stable coins, like not any big serious stable coins, but still the first, like from Bitstamp, this, let's say, IOUs that we called, like US dollars, like many different currencies around the world, euros, Chinese yen, like it had all these, 11 years ago, back then. But then it suddenly stopped, being the focus, at least, for Ripple. And unfortunately, it was only Ripple that had the money and the resources to do something on XRPL. So it just suddenly stopped. Nobody really paid attention. Most XRP holders just focus on Ripple. They're just waiting for banks to adopt the XRP and the XRP Ledger. So technically, we just stopped utilizing all these amazing features. And I think that's the main reason, other than all this, as I said, bad publicity and misinformation. It's also a big fault of Ripple and the community as well that haven't actually pushed all these amazing XRP features. We're now slightly, for the last, let's say, year, trying to push forward, but still, as I said, we have still a long way to go. But yeah, I think these are the two main reasons why we're not seeing, let's say, big activity on XRPL. And there's also the thing of, let's say, friction. For example, there are some terms like trust lines, like reserves, which really don't make sense in other ecosystems. For example, EVM chains don't have any of this. So if someone comes from Solana for Ethereum, etc., they have these confusing terms, and let's say extra XRP they have to pay, which is a friction for them. Not to mention like if like a newcomer comes that has no idea about crypto, they see like these things that other chains don't have. So also these are some reasons that, we're not seeing, let's say, many new users and activity on XRPL.
I think you're right, Panos. I think there's many reasons. It's a multifaceted issue, I believe. I was going to ask you, pulling you back to your project, just something come to mind when you said about payments and stuff and a card. Would your users be able to put their own sort of NFTs on your cards? So like if I was a business and I was using the Zaman wallet or whatever, and could I put my logo on your card, or is there any flexibility in the card, or is it just the card and that's what it is?
Well, I mean, you will not be using like Zaman on either wallet. I mean, particularly, our app will be the wallet. I mean, that's the idea. So you have, signed up on our app, and you have the Anodos card. So it'll be like an Anodos branding card through like Visa or MasterCard, giving you like, these options and like being able to pay with XRP and like use your, whatever asset you want to pay with. So it'll be like quite different. Like NFTs, I don't think like, at least for the foreseeable future, you'll be able to utilize NFTs in any, let's say, good way, because it's only the matter of liquidity. I mean, it's not a token. You can like just swap it or sell it. You need actually a buyer to sell your NFT, which makes it a little more difficult. But of course, there are like business use cases we want to implement. For example, for NFTs, we can think of like loyalty cards, like gift cards that actually businesses themselves can issue to their customers. So these are like use cases that can be very useful. But yeah, when it comes to paying with cards, I don't think NFTs can be used at least for now.
Yes, that's kind of what I meant. Is actually putting the NFT on the card as like a business logo NFT, that sort of thing, like a.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That will definitely come.
Live free. Open your mic, my friend. Go for it.
Panos, talking about the volume, I was thinking about these layer 2 chains, the layer 2s like the Corium and the XIO, and I think there's a brand new one going to be come up that's going to be started by XRPL Commons, specifically for gaming. Do you think these layer 2s would be a positive for the XRPL, or do you think they're going to be withdrawing from the XRPL in essence, volume and assets and stuff like that? Do you think there's a good or a bad for them, for the XRPL?
I personally think like it's very positive for XRPL because we all know that the future is multi-chain. There will not be one winner; there will be one chain to handle all. And so the truth, XRPL can't handle everything. It can handle like all these, let's say, different use cases. At least now it can. But if we are talking about mass adoption and like hundreds of millions of billions of people, it will not be able to handle this volume. So we need that horizontal scalability, and it's exactly the reason why Ripple together with Persist also built the EVM sidechain, which also expands the use cases of the XRPL ecosystem. You now have like the EVM compatible smart contracts. You can do more advanced, let's say, features, protocols, and it connects seamlessly, let's say, with Axelar and like these bridges. Although we still need some improvements there. It's still not there yet in terms of like being able to interact seamlessly and move from one chain to another. For example, it takes a few minutes from now to move from XRPL to the EVM sidechain. Of course, these things will improve, but yeah, I think it definitely is the future. I would like to see XRPL as a more financial, finance-focused chain, and it's the main reason it was built for on-chain finance and DeFi. We have the DEX, we have like payments, we have like escrow, checks, all these financial focused chains, which I think we should stick in that primarily for the XRPL mainnet. And then we have like XIO, we have like Corium, like all these different stuff that can do more and can complement each other. And if you can think about it, the EVM sidechain uses XRP, for example, as its native token as well, which it's just great. If like the EVM gets more adoption, let's say than Ethereum than mainnet, it still uses XRP, which is again very good and very positive for all.
Great, thank you for that very complete answer. That's very good, very comprehensive. Zonet, if I said it correctly, go ahead and open up your mic, bud. You have a question?
Hey guys, thank you so much. I was listening in the audience. My name is Zoni. I did have a quick question. I wanted to know, with this new banking system, how do you basically find ways for traditional and cryptocurrency assets to be protected in this new financial system? And what are some risk management strategies that you guys use to make sure that your system is safe to avoid any scamming or anything of that sort?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I would ask, do you mean like for our upcoming financial super app or for the DEX, or clarify this?
Yeah, so for example, if I were to invest into this technology and with my, let's say, my real world assets, or like with my company, by transferring over money, like money from the real world or cryptocurrency from my NFTs, I wanted to know, is there any like risk management strategies that you guys have in place to protect against any scammers or like anyone who can get into the wallet or get into the system easily?
Right. So basically, you mean like our upcoming app, which you'll be able to like utilize like for payments, for car spending, all this kind of stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, of course. The goal. First of all, we're using the XRPL, which of course makes it safer than most of the other chains, because if you don't know, like the XRPL has like everything built into layer one. You don't have smart contracts, So you also don't have the risk of the wallet drains or the exploits of different DeFi protocols. So you are completely safe when it comes from this type of scams. Like you, for example, if you are on a VM chain, you hit the wrong approval on your wallet, then, let's say the smart contract is malicious, then all your funds are gone. That can happen, on XRPL by design, which is like an extra safety feature for the end users. And we're just building a layer on top of that. So we can think of us as a gateway to XRPL. And by connecting all these things and having this UI, let's say this mobile app, for example, we have like passkeys, which is right now the most secure, let's say, authentication protocol in the world. I mean, you're using your biometrics, so there's no like other way for someone else to, let's say, scam you, or like there's no password for a hacker to steal. It's just like your passkeys and your biometrics, which is very safe. This is one thing. Then interactive, of course. I mean, you're again interacting and transacting and signing all the transactions through these passkeys and your biometrics. And all this utilize the XRPL, of course, which, as I said, pretty safe. We're utilizing, as I said, regulated partners for, like, let's say, the payouts, on-off ramps. All these will be regulated. So everything will be pretty much safe. Audits, of course, will be in place to provide extra, let's say, confidence and security. I think I have covered like your question. If you have like anything else, happy to answer.
Can I ask a question to Zoni?
Yes, thank you so much. I'll definitely do more research. I was reading over the website while you guys were speaking, but this definitely sounds like a very good technology. I'm an XRPL artist, so I feel like this would be very beneficial to a lot of NFT artists, especially, while they're receiving cryptocurrency and XRP and stuff of that sort. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's just to add the final thing. Yeah, Peter, just add to the final thing. So, I mean, our goal always is to provide, to allow you to be your own bank. So, I don't know if you were hearing since the beginning, but we said we'll never hold custody of any user funds or like, data. So we want to allow you to have full control. That's one thing. So it doesn't matter, like, even if it go down and shut down, you still have access, you still have control of your own funds. I think that's the whole point of this decentralized finance ecosystem and what we want to facilitate and build. We will allow you to be your own wallet, and of course we'll give you all these options in a simple way. For example, you're an NFT artist, you want to get paid, but right now, for example, everything is complicated. Someone needs to pay you in XRP on chain, but with our app, for example, someone will be able to pay you from their bank account in fiat, and you instantly receive stable coins, XRP, whatever you might be, but in a very simple way. So all these things, we're just trying to simplify it and just give you control. Peter, can go on.
Were you referring to only the NFT business or another business as well, Zoni? I was just curious if there was also another business you were referring to. Were you guys able to hear me?
Yes, we were able to hear you. Zoni, the question was directed towards you, Zoni.
Oh, can you repeat the question? I actually didn't hear anything.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, so I was curious when you were referring to, like, when you said a business, were you referring to strictly the NFT business that you have, or were you also referring to maybe another type of business?
Zoni, did you hear the question? Maybe there's a communication problem between Peter or Winchester and you.
I think so. I literally didn't hear anything.
Okay, yeah, we've had those issues before too, where some people can't hear certain speakers and vice versa. So, what he was asking was if your question was basically based on being like an NFT company or an NFT business.
Yes.
Or was it for a different type of business or company?
A mix of both. Honestly, again, I am an XRPL artist. I'm verified on the space, and I've been receiving like a lot of people who've been buying into my project. So I wanted to know if there's like a bridge between like the physical world, the real world, where I can transfer money from my 9-to-5 job, as well as the money that I'm receiving from my NFTs in a seamless way onto this platform. And because I am an XRPL artist, I feel like this will be a lot easier. I do have Zem Wallet. Zem Wallet is fine. Their fees are low, which I really appreciate. But if there's obviously a better system, I would rather dive deep into that, so then that way I could see the benefits. I know there's also Joy Wallet, which I also started to play around with as well. But if there's a better technology, I would rather be on top of that and just know as much as possible so I can apply it. Excuse me.
So from what I understand of Panos' new project is that it will allow for technically non-crypto users to be able to pay for your NFTs or to pay for whatever, without necessarily them even having to have a crypto wallet. Is that correct, Panos?
Yeah, actually, what you described is actually, we'll be able to do all this and more through our app, because, it will essentially be a decentralized bank. So, you can get paid, either that's like in, let's say, fiat, or like, crypto, whatever you want. You'll be able to spend. Of course, you have the card to spend these assets. You'll be able to, like, use our app as a savings account, as a bank account, like to earn yield. So technically, anything you can do with your bank, you'll be able to do with us. And it's technically on-chain banking. That's what we're trying to bring here.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to do more research. So thank you.
Any other questions out there before we do our finishing words, our final words? Any takers?
Last question, which I did message Panos directly. Do you think XRPL would benefit from having a DAO? Do you know, similar to like the Ethereum Foundation, Solana Foundation, and so on? Because the only company that we've got now is Ripple, and they're not really pushing user onboarding. They're more focused on payments and banks and infrastructure. So if we had, a bigger company that's just focused purely on onboarding other users from different blockchains rather than a singular project, and, putting our resources together and skills, I feel like, that would be impactful for the XRPL to kind of get the projects off the ground rather than, just Ripple ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, DAOs are a very useful tool, although I don't think we are still, let's say, you can launch a DAO, but it's, let's say, really difficult to manage. I don't think the technology or the tools are there yet to do this efficiently, but still, I think it's much better than just having one corporation, one thing that's managing all these things. And we already have like the ZAO DAO coming, which should be a contributor to the new XRPL Foundation. So ZAO DAO will be actually the first DAO on XRPL that will be able to basically, you'll be able to sign up, become a member, you'll be able to vote for things, and become, let's say, a contributor to the XRPL Foundation. I think that's a good first start. Although I still think, for example, the way they will operate is you'll be able to use your XRP to vote and do different initiatives there. Although I think, at least for me, it's the best case is where one person has one vote. So I would use, most DAOs are just using tokens, their native tokens, which I think is a very bad system because ultimately you're just still benefiting the whales. So the whales and the richest people still have the most power, which, it goes against what the whole point of a DAO is. So I would just go with NFTs. So you have an NFT as an identity. So, one person has one vote. You do your KYC so everybody knows and nobody can actually, let's say, trick the system and like have more than one identity. So I think for me, this is like, I would like to see that on XRPL. So this will be very useful, especially having, let's say, a fund or like a grant system, being able to be managed completely by the, let's say, these votes and, the members of the DAO. So yeah, absolutely, I would love to see that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I think we've pushed this space for an hour and 40 minutes. I think it's about time to shut her down. We are ending our spaces with a little poetry. We have a person a member of DPMF that likes to write poetry, and he wrote this one specifically for this space. This is Anodos by NSCV. A melodic song of decentralization, new painting of freedom in chains of transaction. On simplicity's note, we hear tunes of accessibility, decentralized realms that birth reliability. Operating finance with grand chains of efficiency, secure transactions, and embrace of a chain that's free. A great walk on the path of tomorrow, new fields of bliss where verdant seeds would grow. On innovation's way, we see the dance of creativity, devising an unbreakable chain to free the community. Operating brilliantly in a grand way, unseen by many, solving perplexing riddles of finance in a decentralized way. Anodos by NSCV.
Beautiful. Thank you for reading that. Beautiful. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's a big shout out to NSCV. He loves to write poetry. He's always embellishing our chats with his poetry.
Oh, and if I could just say one big shout out to Wesley also, because Wesley's an OG, even though he didn't say hi technically. I'm a little upset. Not really. I'm just being playful.
Wesley, you're an OG now.
You're officially an Anodos.
Anodos. You got your accent is on the first letter. Anodos.
No, Anodos.
Right? Am I correct this time around, Panos? Anodos.
I got it right this time, I think.
Yes, you're correct. Yeah, it's Anodos.
There's an accent on the A. Accent on the A.
That's right. Yes, on the first day.
English people can't pronounce anything, can they?
Damn Brits.
Yes, you're right. We can't.
This show was sponsored by Fuzion-XIO.com, a premier permissionless NFT platform where you can mint and sell NFTs in any of the over 54,000 coins on the XRPL. And soon where you need to go to get the future YEM Part 1 and 2 rewards. The current YEM Infinity reward has not gone out yet today, but it should be in your wallets later on today. Remember, to be able to unlock the yield earning mechanism, you will need to own at least one XIO, and the amount of YEM Infinity reward depends on the amount of XTX you own. Thank you for joining us today and learning about Anodos Finance. If you have any questions, please reach out to them and learn more about their very interesting project. And also, please follow all the speakers here. Please don't take anything we say as financial advice. Do your own research. With that said, we bid you farewell and hope you join us again next week for another deep dive into the blockchain world. This show is recorded, so if you missed a part of it, you can go back and listen to the show. Please share and have a beautiful day, people.